Good morning and welcome back to Wizards and Pixie Dust podcast, where we talk about all things Disney and Universal related with your podcast hosts, Mary Yohannan and Melissa Snyder. It is officially the last week in November of 2021. Good morning, Melissa. How are we doing today?
Good morning. A little shocked at hearing that last week in November bit. That kind of puts everything in perspective. And
yeah.
Oh boy,
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a special guest today. Are you excited, Melissa?
So excited. I love when we have guests, and I love when we have this guest on because she's so much fun to talk to.
I know. So we have Miss Emily Nugent on today, a Life is Better travel agent who loves all things Disney and now Universal.
Yay! Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
All right. So this is a hot topic that we're going to talk about today. So let's just dive right into it. Versus talking about how much we ate at Thanksgiving and how much,
Yeah, I'd like to forget that. That's fine with me. Really would like to forget that.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about this Disney Genie service, which launched a month ago in October.
Right.
Yeah. And it's supposed to take over fast passes and everything. So it's a new service that has gotten a lot of backlash, to say the least, right, ladies?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So I was reading that initially this whole Genie service was supposed to mimic what they have in Disneyland, that Max Pass, and make it super easy for those who are on property to be able to make passes the day of, blah, 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 blah. A person having used Max Pass multiple times, having been to Disneyland multiple times, yeah, I don't get that. So this will be an interesting talk, but we're going to do, everybody who's listening in right now, we are going to do a multi-part Disney Genie breakdown. So this will be the first episode, and we're just going to get into the easy stuff here, right, ladies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start out with the basics and the easy. The simple.
Yeah, if it is.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know.
Short conversation. No, just kidding.
I wish we could say that, right? So too funny. All right, so here's the gist. Disney Genie service, again, like we said, was launched over a month ago to help get people through the lines a little bit faster. So there's a portion of this that's free. So tell me what portion of this service is free to people to use.
So just the Disney Genie itself is free. So this is a part within the My Disney Experience app that you already download to go to the parks. And this entity is really going to help to plan out your day, or at least that's the purpose of it. So that is the free part. That does not include any of the Lightning Lane, Fast Pass type of things that they are promoting with Genie Plus.
And it's something that you'll see, excuse me, right on your My Disney Experience. So it's just something that they've added right to your existing My Disney Experience, like another place to click, another tab, depending on what medium you're using to access this. But it's just something that's in there that you're going to see, not an extra app that you have to download or anything else that you have to worry about, navigating something separate. This is just something that's part of what you've already been using to navigate Disney.
Exactly. So to get to the Disney Genie, basically you would just go down to the plus sign in the app where you would make any type of mobile order, dining reservations, and then at the very bottom of that, it's the Genie tip board, and that's what you would select.
Okay, cool. So in here, the tip board, because let's be honest, this app, first of all, the My Disney Experience app is a little bit There's so many components to it.
This is all Disney technology.
Yeah. Truth right there.
No, I swear they spend more on lawyers and everything than on the technology that they should be, right? Let's be honest.
Their technology.
They are perfecting their Mickey bars.
They're more worried about their copyright than this sometimes. Yeah. So here's the thing. So you download the My Disney Experience app to your phone. And for those of you who have never been to Disney and don't know what the My Disney Experience app is, also known as MDE. So if you're in forums and you see MDE, that means My Disney Experience. You download it to your phone and you can link your reservations, your tickets, all of that stuff in here, do dining. It's supposed to be a one-stop shop app to be able to do everything for your Disney vacation, right?
Mhm.
Now they've added the Genie service to this, where, when we were talking the other day, I think it took me 5 minutes to find it.
Yeah.
To the plus, you click on that. Now, once you're into the Genie service, the app shows you like what, wait times and stuff. So is that correct?
Yes. So what you will do once you're in the app is, well, Mary, did you want to talk about the tip board first or the wait times?
Or, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand, right? Like,
Okay. Yeah. So what you'll do once you have downloaded it, download your MDE and you've linked all your tickets. If you have a park pass reservation, then you can go in and create your day, basically. And in there, you're going to say the things that you want to do, the things you're interested in, the things that you want to ride, the things that you want to see, attractions, what maybe you want to eat. But then you also, on the tip board, can see, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. You can see oh my goodness. You can see the wait times. So it's just another location that you can see the standby wait, as long as also if there are any lightning lane availabilities.
okay, so I know you said park reservations, so that was something else. If you're a first time listener, Disney still has their park reservation system up and running. So if you have dates that you're going and you have tickets, so you need tickets, physically tickets, to be able to make a park reservation. So if you have tickets, you make your park reservation, and then you can go into the Genie service.
Yeah, and just so that everybody knows, if you are currently using an agent with Life is Better, we are unable to make those park pass reservations for you. That is one of the only reservations that we are unable to do, because you do have to acknowledge the new COVID protocols and their terms and all that stuff with Disney. It's just a legality thing that's the only thing that we cannot do for you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So now we're in there. We have the tip board. The tip board tells us, hey, these are, well, you can choose which park you want to look at, right? Is that the deal?
Yes.
You can choose which park you want to go to, and you can see the various wait times and everything for the tip board. So it'll say like, oh, let's see, we're in Animal Kingdom today, and Flight of Passage currently has a 90-minute wait. But if you want to purchase the Lightning Lane pass, which we'll talk about in another episode, you can do that. So the tip board allows you to look and see at what time the next shows are, as well as the standby line times, correct?
Yeah, so you can see the attractions, you can see the rides, you can see cavalcade times, parade times. So hopefully with the return of the fantasy parade, right?
Mhm.
Was it Festival
Fantasy.
Festival Fantasy? They just announced at the
Yeah.
At Destination D23 last week. They did not set a date for that, but
Right. They left
hopefully
it kind of wide
soon.
open. Yeah, I know.
Going to January. Come on, Disney. I want to
Yeah.
parade.
That's 2022 to me.
Yeah. So that time would be, in your tip board as well. So you can see any wait times, any attractions, or any cavalcades.
Okay, so let's talk about, I'm in the app, I'm looking at this, I'm at the Animal Kingdom today. I just have Animal Kingdom up, that's why I'm saying Animal Kingdom. But I have Animal Kingdom up as saying here now that the ride Dinosaur has a 5-minute wait. How true is that wait time?
Cringe. Sorry.
Okay, let's be honest. We talked before getting onto the podcast today, and the consensus from the three of us was every single forum that we read said that the standby line wait times were off badly.
Yes, I would agree. Yes. Well, I
Right?
mean, I
Like,
think this is a tool. This is a tool that's for guests to use, supposedly to manage and plan their day and navigate the parks more efficiently. But, it's a tool for Disney to be able to try to funnel people to different areas of the park. And, I would speculate that they're definitely, I don't want to say manipulating wait times because that sounds just like evil, villainous type of, mode that they're in, but that they're maybe padding the wait times or, I don't know.
I would agree.
well, let's be honest. Like, you can probably go as low as 5 minutes. At that point, like 5 minutes it probably takes you 5 minutes just to walk through the line, right?
Right,
It's probably the least amount of time that they can put up
Right.
for a standby line.
Yeah. If you're just walking through, getting on no wait, I think that you're right. They have to put 5 minutes. Like they have to put something.
Right. But here's the thing that makes me wonder is, how you've been in the standby line and they give somebody one of those badges to carry through the line. So they scan the badge at the front, they go through the line, they scan it at the end, and then it'll update the amount of time of the standby line outside of the ride, right? Like that's the system at Disney World. Okay. But is that system linked?
So I have some inside news on that system.
Ooh, I love inside news.
And they may have changed this since I talked to this cast member, but they weren't using those because of COVID. Because it was a high contact.
Oh, huh.
People were constantly touching them.
Yeah.
So they were more or less estimating like, okay, so when the Jungle Cruise line gets to this point, it's usually roughly an hour wait. So that's kind of, I think what explains as to why the wait times are off a little bit,
Yeah.
a lot, since they've reopened, just because, I know we waited sometimes just that amount of time. We waited half that amount of time. We waited more than the posted time. So who knows?
Interesting. So that was one of the things there that the feedback has been people will get in line and say, oh, okay, it's a 30-minute wait time, but then they find themselves waiting 60 or 75 minutes. So it would be nicer if they just overshot, right?
Yeah. So much nicer. Much nicer. What a happy surprise that would be,
Yeah,
rather be surprised.
It's a kid-friendly park, right? So you have a lot of little kids. So if you look here and you say, okay, it's tough to be a bug, which really isn't a ride, but like if it says 5-minute wait time and you end up waiting 30 minutes with little kids, like,
right.
That's kind of rough. So, but
that's the difference of a potty break.
Hugely,
Yeah, or hangry. They could get hangry if it's like right before lunch. There's so many ways to just all of a sudden your day is ruined just from one little incident of it being wrong. So, okay, so I'm still in Animal Kingdom now. This was interesting. So I click on the standby line. It says 90 minutes. So I click on this. So tell me, I get a new screen that comes up. What is this?
Let me look. Hold on.
It says here, forecasted wait today.
Oh, okay. So this is really cool. I really do like this this portion of the new feature. So in this portion, it's going to basically tell you the forecasted wait time for the day. So basically what Disney did is they're taking into account, the amount of park pass reservations probably, as well as like historical data for that ride and that time of day, that time of year, that date. And they're going to tell you, is the line going to increase historically or has the line decreased historically? So you can go in once you click on that standby time and look and say, hey, no, let's go ride this at 1 o'clock because historically it goes down because people tend to leave Animal Kingdom at park hopping time and go to somewhere else, so maybe the wait time goes down. Or it's more or less, oh, the wait time is just going to keep increasing. Let's just ride it now type of a deal. So that is really a new feature that they've added. There are some outside sources that do the same thing, but it's nice that Disney, has now put that into their app.
It is. It's just funny because looking at Flight of Passage, it's literally just like this across the board.
Yeah, until what time? 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right after 6, it like
And then
drops
it goes
because the
down
park closes.
However, like I click on dinosaur, it's like this gradual increase and then it comes down and plateaus off. But so you can actually, if there is a ride, right? Like you're in the app, there is a ride that has a long wait time. You can click on that and then see if there's any other time throughout the day that it might come down so you can adjust accordingly, right?
Absolutely. And that's really a nice feature just to kind of help plan out your day. It's also really cool if you're somebody who takes breaks during the day, to know like, hey, if we go back to this park, let's hit this up this evening because it's saying the wait time is going to be less, so it's kind of, it's a really neat feature.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of nice. The only thing is it doesn't like, it just has like the time frames, but it doesn't like, as far as like the row goes, it'll tell you the time, but on the column part, it doesn't tell you like, oh, this is 5 minutes, this is 90 minutes. Like that's the only thing that I wish they
Yeah.
would.
Like if you look at Navi River Journey, this one's kind of funny. This is when I was all over the place.
Yeah.
You're better to ride that one after 2 o'clock.
Yeah. The other thing I like looking in here too is when you were talking about shows and parades earlier, if you click on that show, it actually gives you all the show times for that day too.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm so glad they did that because I think that was something that the times of the show that was so hard to find. You had to click on so many different things or get the paper brochure. The paper brochure was the easier thing for me to carry around for the darn show times.
Always lose the paper brochure.
I mean, well, we always had one for each person just because that happened all the time, but that was still, even having lost like 3 out of 5 of them, like being able to produce one of those was so much easier than finding the darn show times or getting the app to load with,
Yep.
Hey, Melissa, when is the 3 o'clock parade?
That one I'm all over most of the time. But if you ask me before coffee, I might not be able to tell you. It's true.
I do love that feature though, that they're showing all of that extra stuff. So it kind of helps, especially if you have kids, like they want to see that cavalcade, they want to see that kite show, or and you're like, well, I don't know when it is. It's right there for you.
It's easy to have it all in one place to be able to compare, and just I'm so glad.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's talk about the other part of this app besides the experiences, the dining part.
Yes. So the dining part, from what I have experienced, so once you're on your tip board, you have both the experiences portion, which is what we've been talking about, the wait times, the forecasted wait times. But then you also have a option there for dining. And this is really basically going to link back to the mobile dining feature in MDE. But the cool thing about this is that it's going to tell you right away what is available, what, are they accepting dining reservations? Are they accepting a wait list, a walk-up wait list? And then when is the next arrival window for mobile dining? So for example, Flame Tree Barbecue, if I just, right now it has a mobile order for 10:15 to 10:05. If I click on that, it's just going to take me right back to the mobile ordering section in MDE in the My Disney Experience app. So it doesn't go anywhere else as far as, you know, somewhere separate. You're just going to go right back to that screen that you're pretty familiar with mobile ordering.
I like that they included that though with the Genie services. I think that's helpful, especially with them encouraging more mobile ordering.
Yeah, and I really like the reservation feature in there.
Yeah.
But it says, hey, there are reservations available for that restaurant on that day. And same with the walk up. I have a client going in January, and the one day they're like, I don't know where we want to eat yet, and they haven't really committed to a reservation yet. So I'm like, well, you're going to need this to figure out what's available when you're hungry.
No, and that, like, it is nice because when you went into the dining one, like, it was just all together. So like every park, and you can filter, but this is just nice that it's already just filtered for you versus having to figure out how to use the filter and everything.
Yeah. So right now, if you look at Tusker House, it's a 10-minute walk up list. And then if you click it, it says you can join, but I'm too far away in Pittsburgh to join the 10-minute walk up list.
So sad. Well, I think that's good too, because I think, you know, especially if you've been to Disney before COVID, the idea of a walk-up reservation is, you know, a walk-up reservation, walk-in dining for something is kind of foreign. You know, if you've made your reservations those 6 months before, you know, I think even having, you know, been a lot, I would kind of think that maybe there isn't a walk-up reservation on the day that we're going. You know, why would I even ask, you know? So to have that on there, I think that's a really good thing.
It's like unheard of before.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know if that'll change, if, you know, the amount of reservations will be less as the park, as everything gets back to normal, but still, you know, the fact that that possibility exists, I think that's really, you know, maybe that'll open some people's eyes and be able to have a happy surprise when they're there one day.
Okay, so you can use the free Disney service to plan your day accordingly. You don't have to purchase the Lightning Lane stuff, which we're going to talk about in the next episode. So if you don't purchase it, this just gives you a good idea of where to go to next, and maybe possibly looking at the wait times throughout the day to determine where you can go back to later, correct?
Yeah, so the Disney Genie itself is free, right? So that's available for everybody, built into the My Disney Experience. That's what we've been talking about. And then in the next episodes, like Mary said, you know, we'll get into the lightning lanes, and then we'll get into the individual selections. Something that I don't know, Mary, if we chatted about beforehand, but I wanted to just bring this up. On the My Day portion of the Genie app, if you go all the way down at the very bottom, there's a portion that says need help, and you can actually chat with a cast member. So this is something that, you know, Universal has done, where you can text about stuff, which has been fantastic. I know, Mary, you rave about it. But now Disney has taken that also, and they're allowing you to be able to ask questions to a cast member. So that's kind of cool too. I have personally not used that, so I'm not too sure how, you know, easy it is, or, you know, how fast they get back to you, but that's really a cool feature that they've put in there.
Nice. I know, it's and these are those little things that it's like, it's hidden, right? Like, how would you find that, you know, unless it's like you're scrolling all the way down and stuff like that. So, all right. So as with everything Disney, there's a huge amount of terms and conditions with this app. So if you decide to use the free version, just again, be aware of the standby line times might not match up correctly. And if Emily is correct, and they are guesstimating ride times versus doing the actual ones, should be interesting. So according to many forums, there's this 80-20 rule that we were reading about, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what was it, 80% of the people go through Lightning Lane and then 2% or 20% standby, right?
Yeah.
But according to the forums, it seems like 100% Lightning Lane.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things where I think, and Emily, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're in the park and you don't have the paid version, you can pay for the version while you're for the park, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You can be standing in a standby line and be like, this is complete crap. And you go on the app and add that Disney Genie Plus for the $15 for that day for everybody in your party. And then you have access to those lightning lanes.
Yeah. So if you get there and it doesn't end up working out and the standby lines are ridiculous. Now, here's the other thing though. If the standby lines are ridiculous, is there going to be availability for Lightning Lane at that point?
Yeah, that's definitely a risk that you take.
Yeah. Because based off of what the craziness has been this week at Walt Disney World, I heard the customer service line has been long for people to get, refunds for Disney Genie Plus. So
yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on, the time of year you go, what days you go, and that's why using an agent is so helpful, because, an agent's going to tell you, don't go to Magic Kingdom on a Monday or a Saturday or Sunday. Go later on in the week. You know what I mean? Like, because that historically those are the busy days. So, it's helpful to know those extra little tips and when deciding to invest in the Genie Plus.
So overall, ladies, do you think that this has potential? Do you think that it's going to evolve into something better? I'm like trying to figure out how I want to word this, because I with the mixed reviews on everything. Do you think it's going to, I don't know. Do you think it's going to evolve? Do you think people are going to embrace it eventually? Right now, it doesn't seem like people are embracing it very well.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. Okay.
Go ahead.
I think Disney has to evolve it some. I think they have to make some changes to it, because it's just not working. Now, I've heard that it's better to have it for some parks versus other parks. So that may be something, you always want to talk with your agent about. But it's definitely something that I think needs work. I think it was kind of maybe a quick little fix that we need to get something out there. Maybe they'll bring back that dining plan with a quick fix too. But that's for another episode. Yeah, I don't know. I think that they kind of have to do something.
What about you, Melissa?
I think I felt this way when Disney changed from paper fast passes to the pre-scheduling fast passes thing, that whole thing. I wasn't a fan of it. And I think it took some time to adjust to that. I do think that they have released this and it's more complicated. It's a more complicated system that they've released versus when they switched from the paper fast passes to the, register through the app. So, and I think what I tend to see a lot with Disney is that they put something out there. They kind of do things backwards. They put something out there and then they figure out and fix the bugs like after it's all out there. Like they put the finished end goal out there versus starting from the ground up and adding a little at a time to build it up. So I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it can be pretty frustrating. But at least if it's out there, we know the capabilities and maybe they can now start working to fix all the things that are going wrong with it. I read in one article, somebody said it was, they probably released it too soon. It was probably not ready and they just put it out there. And I agree with that. I don't think it was ready. So,
yeah. I don't think it's ready for the capacity in which it's being used.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely does. All right, ladies. Well, that wraps up our Disney Genie service free components portion, part 1. So we're gonna talk on our next episode about the paid components of the Genie service. So make sure to listen into the next episode. And in the meantime, make sure to check out our Facebook page and Instagram, Wizards and Pixie Dust. And if you're looking to listen to more episodes, or you want to read Emily's new blog that we have also on Wizards and Pixie Dust, head over to wizardsandpixiedust.com. All right, ladies, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. Thank you.